Hello student, welcome to my YouTube channel Let's Study. Today in this video we are going to start our first new chapter from the book First Flight, that is A Letter to God, which is written by G.L. Fuentes. This is a very interesting story, as the name goes very interesting. Dear students, let's move to the story A Letter to God. But before reading to the main chapter, let's go to the column before you read. So what is given here, that they say faith can move mountain. But the question is, what should we put our faith in? So people used to say that faith can even move a mountain also. Isn't it? I think all of you have heard this, that with the help of faith a people can move mountain also. Okay, this is a belief that most of the people used to have. But the question is that where we shall put our faith in, that where we have to keep our faith. Okay, now this is the question which is totally related to this story. Now this is a story about a farmer whose name is Lencho, and what he had done, he writes a letter to God when his crops are totally ruined, that is destroyed. Now the question is, does Lencho's letter reach God? Means actually Lencho's letter reach God. Does God send him the money? Does God help him with the money? So these questions, these are the questions whose answers we are going to get in this story. So let's move to the main story. The house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. Here, the house means it is describing about Lencho's house. So where is Lencho's house situated? So Lencho's house is the only single house in the entire valley, and it is the valley which is situated on the very top of a low hill. Low hill, I think all of you understand, it is not about a big mountain. It is about a low hill, means a low high part of a valley. Okay, and his house is situated in the middle of the low hill, and his house is the only entire house in the valley. And from this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flower that always promised a good harvest. So from the height where Lencho's house is situated, from that height one could see the river, okay, the entire valley, the ripe corn field which is dotted with flower. And dotted with flower means it is all covered with flower. Now covered with flower means that it will definitely going to give a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Now as his ripe corn field is all covered with flower, now the only thing Lencho's ripe corn's field need is a downpour. Downpour means a shower of rain. Okay, now what happened after that? Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky toward the northeast. Now whatever the work he has to do, as he is a farmer, so whatever the work he has to do, that is farming and all, okay, sowing his crop and all, he had done from his side. Okay, so what he want after that? He want the nature to help him. Whatever the help he has to do by himself to get a good crop, he had done. Now after all these things, but he need a good downpour, that is a shower of rain. So what happened one morning, he was looking at his field. Okay, he was looking at the entire valley, and he was doing nothing, but he was looking at the sky also. Okay, he looks at the sky and he looked toward the northeast direction, because from the northeast direction basically the rains approaches. Okay, so he looked toward the northeast direction. Then after looking at the direction, he said to his woman means to his wife. But he said, now we are really going to get some water. He said to his wife that now we are really going to get some water, means now it's really going to have rainfall. And the woman who was preparing supper, so his wife, she is making meal for the family. Then she replied at the time that yes, God willing, that yes, if God wishes, then definitely we will have a good downpour, that is a good shower of rain. And at the time, what happened, the older boys were working in the field, the bigger kids, they are working in the field, and the smaller ones, they are playing near the house. And till that time, what happened, the woman, means their mother, they called all of them to have dinner. Now it was during the meal that, just as Lenchu had predicted, big drop of rain began to fall. So while they are taking their meal, at a time, as the Lenchu has predicted that rain is approaching, rain will fall afterwards, after some time. So according to that, the same thing happened. The big drop of rain began to fall. So whatever Lencho he had expected, he was expecting to have a good shower of rain, so it started to fall. In the northeast, huge mountain of clouds could be seen approaching. Then what he found that from the northeast direction, the huge mountain of clouds, means big clouds, it was seen approaching. It means a good rain is going to fall. So the air was fresh and sweet. So as we know that when a heavy rain start to fall, before than that we get a fresh air, right? Because the air brings the cloud, the direction of the air brings the cloud, isn't it? So when the heavy rain or when a moderate rain started to fall, before than that we experience sweet air. So at the time, the air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. So Lencho, he immediately went out from his house just to do nothing but to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, because he expecting rain and he want to feel the pleasure of rain on his body, because he was very happy to see that his ripe cornfield will get some water, natural water. And then after he returned to his house, and then again he said that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. So my dear student, this sentence is very important. You can underline this sentence, that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5. So this may come as your question to comment on this following sentence. Okay, now what does it mean? I think if most of the student have understood the meaning of this sentence, that why Lencho compared the raindrop with the coin. I think most of the student have understood, and still if you have doubt, then listen to me carefully. So what is given here, he exclaimed that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. He said that these raindrops are actually not raindrops which is falling from the sky. These are new coins. So he compared the raindrops with the new coin. And what is compared? He compared the big drop of rain with 10-cent pieces and the little ones with 5-cent pieces. Now the question is, why he compared these raindrops with the coins? So my dear students, as we all know that Lencho is a farmer. His only livelihood, that is his only earning source is farming. Okay, so as his ripe cornfield is all dotted with flower, and what is only need, that is a good shower of rain. So good shower of rain will bring him a good harvest. Okay, and then after, with the good harvest, he can earn some money, and if he can earn some money, then only he can feed his family for the entire year. And after feeding his family, if whatever the leftover money will be there, then he can sow his field again in the next year. So obviously these raindrops will help him to get his earning. Okay, so that is why he compared these raindrops with the coins. Okay, that the big drops with the 10-cent pieces and the little ones with the 5-cent pieces. Now my dear students, you have got a new word, that is cent. Now let me tell you here very shortly what is cent. Cent is a currency which is used in United States and is also called penny. Okay, now here, as big drops are compared with 10-cent pieces, now 10 cent pieces, 10 cent in our Indian rupee is is equal to 7.98 rupees, and 5 cent in our Indian currency is 3.57 rupee. I think all of you understood. And one more word you have got, that is pesos, and you will get this word afterward also in this entire chapter. Peso, this is actually used in Mexican countries. This currency name is actually used in Mexican countries. Okay, let's move to the next paragraph. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower draped in a curtain of rain. So he was very, very satisfied to see the raindrops. Okay, and with a satisfied expression, what he was thinking, he's thinking about his field. Okay, field of ripe corn which is all dotted with flowers, covered with flower, and he was imagining that my ripe corn field, which is all covered with flower, is now going to draped in the curtain of rain, means is all going to covered with the raindrops. Okay, with water, natural water. But what happened? Suddenly whole scene changes. So what happened? Suddenly a strong wind began to blow. Okay, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. So this is very, very dangerous for his ripe corn field. He had expected rain, not hailstones. I think all of you know what is hailstones, right? So in the month of April, we experience, most of the state in India, we experience hailstones. Okay, so he had expected rain but not hailstone, and as he had not expected, okay, so the same thing happened, that a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, the hailstone also began to fall. As he has earlier compared those raindrops with the coins, right? So now actually the silver coins are started to fall. Which he obviously doesn't want. So the boys, the kids, obviously they are very, very small, as we also do the same thing. Whenever hailstones fall in our area, we went out from our house and we like to collect those frozen pearl. In the same way, those kids also, they went outside in the rain and they started to collect the frozen pearl. So they are enjoying. But here Lencho was very, very worried about his ripe corn field, that if the hailstone will continue to fall, then what ultimately what will happen to his ripe corn field, which is very, very dangerous for his cornfield. Then after looking the whole scenario, the man Lencho, he said that it's really getting bad now. He doesn't want this to happen. He doesn't want hailstones to fall, right? He said that he hoped that the hailstone passes quickly. But what happened? It does not pass quickly. It falls for 1 hour. Okay, so for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. For 1 hour it was raining along with the hailstone. Okay, and ultimately what will happen? The field was white as it covered with salt. So entire valley along with the field all seemed white, as it looked like that, covered with salt. Okay, means you just imagine, if for 1 hour the hailstone will fall continuously, then what will be the scenario? That everywhere around us will all covered with white frozen pearl. Okay, the same thing happened with Lencho's also. In Lencho's field, Lencho's house, Lencho's cornfield, okay, the entire valley where Lencho is situated, all covered with white. Now what happened to the ripe corn field? Not a single leaf remained on the tree. Okay, the corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the cornfield. Okay, corn plant. Now after looking at all this, Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. He felt very, very sad to look at his destroyed cornfield. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his son, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this." So when the rain stopped, he went in the middle of his ripe cornfield to see the situation, what happened, okay, to his ripe cornfield. And then after, what he said to his son, that a plague of locust. Locust meaning is already given in your book. You can see locust is a kind of an insect which fly in big swarm, that is group, and destroy crop. Okay, so plague of locust, plague is the collective name. The group of locust are called plague of locust. Okay, so he said that the plague of locust would have left more than this hailstone has left for me. So what he said, that the hailstone has left nothing, and what he said, that this year we will have no corn. So if they will have no corn, what will happen to them? Their family have to go hungry that year. So that night was a sorrowful one for Lencho and his entire family. All our work for nothing. So whatever the hard work, Lencho, his wife, his older boys. Okay, so whatever the hard work they had done for the ripe cornfield, for the cornfield, all their work goes in vain. There's no one who can help us. We will go hungry this year. So this is commented by Lencho, that this year no one can help us, as our ripe cornfield has also destroyed. So this time we will not get any kind of harvest, not even a single harvest, and this year we will have to go hungry for the entire year. My dear students, I hope that you understood the first part of this chapter very well. So now let's see what we learned new in this paragraph. So we learned certain new words like scent, pesos, plague of locust, and I have already explained you well the meaning of scent and pesos and where they get used. Now let's come to plague of locust. As I have already explained you the meaning of locust, that locust is a kind of an insect which destroy crop. And plague of locust, the word plague is a collective noun. So let's move to some more example related to the collective nouns of insects. So you can see in the video I have given you the list of 4 collective nouns of insect, that is ant, bee, fly and moth. So the collective noun of ant, there are not only single collective noun, there are several collective nouns for ant. You can use any one of the choice of your own choice. For example, an army of ant, a colony of ants, a nest of ants, a bike of ants. Let's move to bee. There are some more collective nouns for bees, that is a hive of bees, a swarm of bees, a flight of bees. And same for fly also. There are several collective nouns like a business of flies, a hatch of flies, a cloud of flies. And for moth also, a whisper of moths, a flutter of moths, a universe of moths. So I think you can relate something new with this paragraph, whatever the new topic, whatever the new words we got in this paragraph. Now before ending up this video, I want to drop one question for you. I want you to solve the question. Now the question is given in the video. You can read the question there. The question is, where is Lencho's house situated and what can be seen from that height? I hope that my dear students, you all will write the answer. So we will continue the next paragraph in my next video. So keep watching my video and do subscribe to my channel. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay safe.